Hello, valued Ebenezer employees. Welcome back to MLC with me. I'm your host, Megan Shimmick. In our last segment, we showed you 3 techniques for dealing with a rabid wolverine in the building. But now, we are going to turn slightly, and for the next 10 to 15 minutes, we'll be learning about the AIDET program. The hope is to help everyone understand that what customer service means to the people we care for, and to standardize it in a way that makes sense to everyone. I want to thank you in advance for taking the time out of your busy day to learn about this very valuable initiative. To help explain the program to us is Director of Community Relations and Customer Service Enthusiast, Luke Jenkins. Welcome, Luke.
Thanks for having me here, Megan. What a great opportunity to share my passion for customer service.
Of course. Good customer service has much to do with consistency. Before we get started, would you mind sharing with us the value of clear, consistent communication?
It would be my pleasure. Consistent, clear communication gives the customer a feeling of courtesy and respect. They feel like their voice is heard and they're cared about. Their care plan is explained in a way that they can understand. And more importantly, they trust their caregivers while maintaining a sense of control and safety.
All right. AIDET is currently being used by many communities within Ebenezer and is being taught in new employee orientation. What has come from it?
We've seen better clinical outcomes, increased resident satisfaction, and improved employee satisfaction as well.
All right. So Luke, the question remains, what is AIDET?
AIDET is an acronym for the 5 steps in Ebenezer's customer service standardization. Acknowledge with dignity, introduce with service, duration with integrity, explanation with innovation, and thank them with compassion.
Ah, I see. That each of the steps involved one of the 5 values that Ebenezer stands for. Very clever.
Indeed.
Could you give us an example of how this works? Some people learn better by seeing examples.
Well, actually, Megan, you used AIDET when we first started the video. Much of this comes naturally to so many of us. When you started this segment, you greeted the audience by name. You made eye contact with the camera and made them feel welcome with a smile, utilizing the acknowledgement part of AIDET. Then you said your name and your position, demonstrating the introduction. You then told the audience approximately what the time frame would be with them spending with us. However, I'm sure they've already looked at the video length to see how much longer they have with us.
Of course they did.
But by you telling the audience that, you've used the duration segment of AIDET. And when you went into what they'll hopefully learn from the experience, you showed them the explanation part of the program. Lastly, you thanked the audience for their participation. Thanking the customer is the last part of the AIDET program, and you did wonderfully at it all.
Wow, I had no idea. I was already so fantastic. So you're telling me that this training was just a waste of my time?
Well, that's a bit harsh, and no, it was not a waste of time at all. Everyone has different backgrounds, experiences, and cultures, and so customer service can mean something significantly different from person to person. AIDET is an evidence-based customer service standardization that is expected from all our employees to ensure that we are providing the best experience for the people we care for. Now that you have this resource in your tool belt, you can share it with your coworkers when you see them interacting with customers in a way that doesn't exactly measure up to the very high customer service expectations that we have.
Well, when you put it that way, I agree. This is a very valuable tool, not only for myself, but for the team as a whole. Thank you so much for sharing this with us, Luke.
Absolutely. I do have one request of the audience before they leave. Part of the training is putting our words into practice. And so I asked the facilitator of this meeting, training, or whatever, to please allow a few minutes for those listening to practice AIDET on one another. Please pair up and take a minute or 2 after the video is done to do some good practice. For additional resources about AIDET or to get one of those fancy AIDET bookmarks, please talk with your management staff and they will help you get some handy resources. Thank you again for listening and have a wonderful rest of your day.
Thank you everyone for joining us. This has been MLC with me, Megan Shimmick.